What's up guys, welcome back. I would say that it's appetizer season, but let's be honest, when is it not appetizer season? Today we're putting a new spin on a classic, which is buffalo chicken dip. We're gonna take buffalo chicken dip, roll it in some flour and some breadcrumbs and deep fry it. I'm calling these buffalo chicken bites. But before we get into the recipe, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right guys, meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. First things first, let's talk about the ingredients, and one of the most underrated ingredients in the kitchen, in my opinion, is the rotisserie chicken. We're gonna break this down. A lot of times you can find this on sale for like $5 for a whole cooked chicken. You know, I'm gonna be honest, some places are seasoned better than others, but when you get a good one, you can't beat it for $5 or $6. So what we're gonna do is remove all the bone, skin, and cartilage, leaving behind the meat. That saves us a whole lot of time in cooking our own chicken. And we're just gonna deep fry this anyway, so we don't need to get too chefy when it comes to, roasting your whole chicken. We're trying to keep this short and sweet and feed a crowd for the big game or for the party, the cookout, whatever you got going on. All right guys, so the key here is you just don't want anything in here that's gonna damage your teeth. So before you break out the knife, just pick through it, make sure there's no bone or cartilage in there, anything unpleasant. And then once you do a good job of that, we're gonna go ahead and chop it up with our knife. That'll be our last line of defense because the knife will feel any bone in there as you're chopping it up. Just be real careful. You don't wanna serve anybody something delicious and have them chip their tooth. So just get in there and pick through it and then chop it up into bite-sized pieces like you see right here. So now that the chicken is prepped, we're gonna go ahead and prep our veggies. Real simple, half of an onion, couple stalks of celery. We're gonna give it a nice fine dice. All right guys, so you wanna take out your beautiful new skillet. This is my new model that I've been testing out the last 6 months. It'll be on the market here soon. Plenty of details to come on that, but we're gonna go ahead and melt some butter because butter makes everything better. We're gonna saute our veggies and melt down our cream cheese. And we're also gonna add some Colby Jack cheese, basically make our buffalo chicken dip. Now honestly guys, if you don't want to add the onions and the celery, it's optional. I do like the crunch that it provides to add some texture to the dip. And also celery just pairs, the flavor of celery pairs really nicely with buffalo. And who doesn't like a little sauteed onion? So we're going down with some celery and onions, not a whole lot. Saute them down till they're nice and tender. We're gonna season with my original AP and my hot since we're making buffalo chicken. We're gonna add a little spice to the party. So next up, we're going in with a little worst word in the world sauce and a couple teaspoons of garlic paste. Working over low heat here. Just wanna saute and mix to combine all the ingredients. Next, we're going in with a half cup of Frank's Red Hot sauce. You can use the buffalo sauce if you want. It's a little milder than the original. We want this to have a little bit of spice. Frank's ain't that hot anyway, if we're being honest. So we're gonna get that in there. I'm going down with some ranch seasoning. We're gonna make our own ranch from scratch for a dipping sauce, but we wanna get some ranch flavor in here. A couple teaspoons of that. And then we're gonna begin to incorporate our cream cheese. I like to break it up by hand, room temperature cream cheese. That way the smaller pieces will begin to melt nicely. So that's what we're going for here. Then we're gonna turn the heat down to low and just mix and allow that residual heat to melt that cream cheese. So use a little elbow grease and mix until the cream cheese becomes one with the sauce. Now you just want to stir it until it starts to combine. We're also going to obviously stir it more once we mix it with the chicken. So that's kind of what you want to see. The cream cheese is beginning to melt and get cohesive. We're going to add some Colby Jack cheese too. Just B-roll this part. Tough setup to do this 14 times now. All right, so once you got it all mixed together, we're going in with a couple tablespoons of diced chive for a little extra flavor, pop of color. And then we're gonna hit it with one of my favorite cheeses, which is the Colby Jack cheese. Great flavor, it melts beautifully. Get you a nice cheese pull, hopefully at the end. Quick reminder, guys, that all the specific measurements and ingredients for this recipe can be found in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. And so we're gonna stir that together and then pop that in the fridge. Let it kind of cool off a bit before we form it into our balls. But that's what you wanna see right there. You can taste it at this point, make sure that the flavor is where you want it, and then let it cool off. Next up, my friends, we're gonna make a real easy homemade ranch dressing dipping sauce. For that, we're gonna need about a half cup of good quality mayo. You guys know I like Duke's, but use whatever you got at home. And then we're gonna go with some sour cream. Now, I like this better than traditional sour cream, so you can find this at your grocery store. Give it a try. We're gonna add about a quarter cup of that. And then about a quarter cup of buttermilk. Just to give it that bite. You know, buttermilk ranch obviously has buttermilk in it. Very unique flavor that you're gonna be missing if you don't use it. So we're gonna go in with some buttermilk, a little AP seasoning. And then to keep it real simple, a little Hidden Valley ranch seasoning just to cheat. Season to taste, guys. This stuff does pack a lot of sodium, so don't go too crazy with it. Add a little bit at a time, taste as you go, and adjust the flavor to your preference. Then we're gonna break out a whisk and give it a mix to combine. You can add a little bit more mayo or a little bit more ranch depending on the consistency that you're looking for. If you want it thicker, obviously you add more mayo. If you want it thinner, you can add more cream or more buttermilk. But this is looking just about right to me. We're gonna taste it to make sure that it's spot on flavor-wise. And you got yourselves a super easy ranch dipping sauce, salad dressing, whatever you wanna do with it. Another quick little pro tip, guys, like to keep these cheap plastic spoons laying around and treat them like tasting spoons. That way we don't make a bunch of dishes. Ranch dressing made simple. All right, guys, so we're gonna do this in 3 steps, basically. Once your dip is nice and formed together and it's tight, we're gonna roll it in some flour, then go into the egg wash, then into the breadcrumbs, and then into the oil. So as you can see here, our buffalo chicken dip is holding together beautifully. That's exactly what you wanna see. We're just gonna get in there right with our hands. We're looking for about 2-ounce balls, for lack of a better term. If you're feeling frisky, we're gonna ball them up like so. And then we're gonna roll them in some flour. We didn't really season this flour, guys, because the buffalo chicken dip mixture is so well seasoned. We don't wanna overdo it. But if you feel like you need it when you taste yours, then by all means go for it. But you wanna pack that flour on there. Just a nice light coating. It's gonna be the first layer of defense to hold this thing together. And then we're going into that egg wash. Roll it around like so. Knock off any excess. And then we're using Parmesan breadcrumbs here. So these got some flavor to them already. So you just want to kind of pack it in like that with your hands. And then give them one more roll in those breadcrumbs. These will be nice golden brown and beautiful, fried to perfection. They don't have to be perfect circles, but that's what you're looking for right there. Buffalo chicken bites. Place them on a little aluminum foil lined sheet and then rinse and repeat for however many you're trying to make. All right, guys, so our oil's up to 350 degrees. We're gonna gently place these on in there. These aren't gonna take long to fry. Everything's already cooked. We just need them to get nice and golden brown and beautiful. Don't overcrowd your fryer. We're gonna go 3 at a time here just to play it safe. Roll them around a little bit, make sure they're not sticking to the bottom or sticking to each other. And you also wanna make sure that they're cooking evenly. All right, my friends, this is how we're plating it up. We got a little honey sriracha glaze at the bottom. Got our homemade ranch. We're gonna hit the plate with a little diced chive for a pop of color. That, my friends, is some buffalo chicken bites. All right, my friends, moment of truth. Yeah.